You're watching Straight Black Love Talk with your host, DcRadical1, the home of intelligent, mature relationship conversations.
Many Black children are functionally illiterate because many Black parents don't like or value their children. That sounds so harsh, but honestly, that does not even really hit on how bad the issue is. It's not just about being functionally illiterate, like you can't read. It's you are functionally incapable of humaning. You don't have the ability to do anything. You having issues with, like, you couldn't cook a meal for yourself. You wouldn't be able to go and in any kind of way survive. Like I was saying earlier, people talk about socialization. It's like, okay, but if you look at the numbers when they talk about the new generations going into the workforce, they're having issues with being able to look people in the eye, being able to, not be a whiner. Like just because you're not having a good day doesn't mean that you get to call off of work. Like you're not. There's so many core issues with people's character that come out of the fact that their parents and their community at large have failed them ultimately. So it's what I'm trying to say is illiterate, yes, reading, but illiterate even to life in general. And I think it is about the parents not liking them. Like I said, there's a lot of women that don't want the responsibility of being women, and so they don't want the responsibility of being a nurturer. They don't like children, and they're excited to talk about how they don't like children, but they'll also be the first ones in line trying to get child support because that's all they see children as, is just, the ability I can get, this money from this man, and then I can post, cute pictures with my child on Facebook and keep it pushing and forget feeding them, forget making sure that, they got the proper clothes on their back and they're able to maneuver in this world and survive. Forget all of that. Is how a lot of these parents feel. And you can see it clearly, and the community does nothing about it. And so the parents who act like this feel empowered to continue on with this behavior. Yes, Brother DC.
Yeah, I was just going to say real quick. I don't say this often, but it is what I'm about to say is true. It is sincere. I, I even if like a sister, quote unquote single mother, I have a maybe even more so in this instance. I have the utmost respect for sisters who um go against the grain and try to teach their children on their own and give their children natural foods and to breastfeed and basically try to raise their children in the best possible manner, when most of the time that means you going not only but going against the grain for your family, where they're gonna be asking you questions, why are you doing that and this and that and so forth, so on. So I'm not gonna lie, I have the utmost respect for those sisters that are rearing children, as Baba Baruti say, instead of just raising them. And so I just like to send a shout out to those sisters, because I'm gonna be honest, I see so much bad parenting and bad mothering that when you see good mothering, it's like on a whole different level. It's like it's a totally different thing. So I just want to say that.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely right. If you're a mama that is raising free children and consciously rearing your children, not only are you few and far between, but you really have to, like, yes, the kudos and the flowers to you, but you really have to take the time to meditate on the fact that you are raising probably you're definitely raising the leaders of tomorrow, but your leaders of tomorrow might be the only people left on earth, because a lot of these children not going to survive. And I hate to, be the crypt keeper, but like seriously, a lot of people aren't going to survive. And so of course, if your parents don't make it, who's to say that you will? If you're not raising a child that can recognize fruits and vegetables are something that they can eat if found in nature, your child only knows how to recognize plastic bags as food, they're not gonna make it. Those children aren't gonna make it. So yes, you were right to say the parents don't value the children, because they don't even value them enough to rear them up to survive. They don't even care about their survival. Now I kind of want to add to that, because the parents are the front line to all of this. So there's a saying that say, "Oh, well, everybody thinks their puppy is the cutest." Like every parent feels like their baby is the best baby, and whatever. Which to each his own. But that is a necessary component to civilization. I need to value my child over everything in the world, so that I can protect them, so that I can make sure that my line goes on. We have parents that don't do that, and because they don't do that, the adults around that are either predatory or just not good people. There's some people that are specifically predators, but there's other people that just aren't good people. For example, this whole viral situation going on in Chicago, where there was a mom that was trying to walk her 2 children from school, and she got attacked by some of the middle schoolers. Some of the, I guess these same children had been bullying her son for months, and finally it tipped over, and they beat up the son, and they beat up the mother too. This is in Chicago public schools. Okay, we talk about all those parents are terrible and the children are terrible, whatever. But let's take a step back. Also in the news with Chicago public schools, they getting audited because they spending millions of dollars to just travel. They going to Dubai with your children's education funds. And so at a certain point, it becomes...
Can I interject? And Dubai is problematic because of their connection to what's going on, the murders in Darfur and Sudan, right?
Yes, of course. So, the issue, yes, it's an issue of parenting, but it's an issue of community. I, as a parent, have to be ready to fight everybody now, because the community at large is not looking to protect my child. The community at large does not value my child. The school system don't value my child, because they would rather spend those dollars to travel and have fun, as opposed to making sure that my child has proper education. The same people that couldn't find teachers for the longest time got the money to go explore the world.
Can I bring something from the ancestors that I think you appreciate?
Please do.
Black people still don't get it.
That's my favorite one too. That's my favorite one, because it's the truth. It's that we just don't see it. We just don't see it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna share. I think I told you this already, but I have a sister that told me she was talking with another mom. So there's 2 moms talking to each other. They're not friends, but just mom to mom. And she was describing like, man, we gotta clean up these streets. We got these people selling drugs to the children. That's a problem. And the other mom said, man, F these kids. Let the kids be on the drugs. That's less competition for my child. Huh? What? What kind of logic is that?
You know what, sister? I got to play this again. Hold on.
Black people still don't get it.
You have it in your mind that it's okay for the environment to not be safe for children, because those children will get trapped and then funneled into the numerous systems out to steal our children from us. Let those children fall through the cracks so that my child can thrive through what exactly? You want your child to be able to get a job? That's what it is. You ready to slap all these other children off the mountainside so that your child can reach the top of what? This system? That's what you pressed on? That made me sick to my stomach to hear such a thing. The thought process. You as a like what I said earlier, women don't want the responsibility of being a woman. You as a woman gonna say some foul mess like that. You can't be trusted with children, and now I damn near gotta take your child from you. Because why would you say something like that?
You can't be trusted with anyone because that's some of the most despicable things I've ever heard uttered by a black woman. Because they don't understand this part. Hold on.
I want to emphasize that to you. We are in a war. I want to emphasize that to you. We are in a war.
I had to play that twice because when you're in a war, intentionally depleting your own forces doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? Goodness gracious.
But that just goes to show the character is the problem. The character of the person that is at the front lines of the war, ready to pick up the children and use them as a shield.
Absolutely. Bob Rudy talks about that all the time. Or he used to.
He still do. So yes, not valuing the children, not liking the children. Now that's something that goes into the issue of if you don't properly parent, then it is very likely that you're not going to like the experience of dealing with your child because you didn't go through the process of making them a good person. I'm always strong on like whining. Why are we whining? Why are we crying? Why are we, acting in this way? This is not conducive to a harmonious household, to have these, these crying noises and these whining noises and hey, that's mine. And like those little things that should be dealt with early on, they should be dealt with early on. If you don't deal with them early on, they're going to stay within your child. And now your 10-year-old acting in this exact same way, you're not going to like them. You're not going to like your child if you didn't go through the process of parenting them. Because now your child is really no longer your child. Your child has used the foreign culture, if you even want to call it a culture. They've used the foreign Yorugu menticidal mentality of everything that's going on and downloaded it all. Because remember, our children are sponges. They're picking up on everything much faster than we even have the capacity to know. You don't even know how many curse words your child actually just downloaded listening to the music. You don't know how much of the song they actually were able to comprehend, or how much of it they've taken in and now will, in later years start to implement, because in their functional years, their developmental years, they were able to take in all of the nonsense that you gave.
And sister, I can attest to that just from the fact that I can remember lyrics from songs like Move the Crowd, which is one of my favorite videos. And that was, at this point, almost 40 years ago. So not only your children download it, but it sticks with them forever, in your subconscious mind.
So I think Baba Baruti also speaks on spoilage. You spoil your children, you can't turn around and then be like, oh, you got a bad attitude. It's like, well, yeah, you have not only enabled this attitude within me, you molded it. You really created it. So yeah, I talk about that all day. The issue with children and the parents. And
Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also follow us on our other social media platforms. On Instagram, we're at dc.radical1. On Twitter, we're at dc_radical_one. And the Cash App is $DCRadical1. Again, thank you for subscribing. A beat before ODA and straight black pride.